afternoon. Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome. Hopefully you can see the screen and we're just having that up. It's a nice placeholder to let you know what you walked into.
I like that. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good.
You're like always one of the first to show up, Kayla. I love it.
Hey, that's awesome.
Good.
That military.
I was
One time.
thinking
Yep, it is. It is 5 minutes early. Is on time. Like,
Yes. Early is on time is late.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You said it's Kayla?
Yeah.
How's it spelled?
Kayla.
Oh, of course with a K. And we'll
Oh,
talk
yes,
about how
Wanda.
it works. What you say?
I was saying, oh yeah, I didn't get to introduce you last time. Kayla is an old friend of mine. We were best friends in high school. I've known her since middle school
Nice.
in California, and she's
Where you live now?
Air Force. She's in the Air Force now in Maryland.
Oh, okay. Well, very nice to meet you. And I love that Brittany's bringing her friends into the new friend fold. So we're all getting to meet, and you get to be empowered. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was actually interesting because, like how I ended up getting on this journey is through me and Brittany reconnecting. Like when I kind of got to Maryland the first time, and so
Mhm.
all this stuff is literally like being like new to me, and Brittany has pretty much brought it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm really excited about numerology because
Yeah, me too. And finding yourself. How exciting.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's gonna be. I'm excited about the new venture into purpose, pretty much.
Good. Well, I'm excited to be the facilitator and channel for that. And yeah, it'll be good. Let's see. Still got a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm glad we had this today because I could feel my vocal cords are starting to catch up with me. It's been a whole lot. I teach college during the day, and so my life is extremely busy on all these other, levels. So yeah, it's gonna be time to be quiet.
In a minute.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it. Oh, all right. Oh, and Kayla, while we're waiting, when's your birthday? I'm just curious.
April 12th, 1989.
Oh yeah, it's Aries season. Your birthday's coming. You said April 12th, 1980.
1989.
Oh, all right. You're ending that decade. Nice.
Funny story. Kayla and we found out that our moms had the same due date, April 17th, but we were both born a little bit early.
Oh wow.
And she got the 12th and I got March 25th.
Interesting.
Which her birthday is the same day when we were in high school. There was a guy I was dating whose birthday was also April 12th. He was just a year older. So it just so happened. It was like these weird birthday connections that we all had in our little circle.
Yours was what again, Brittany? April what?
March 25th. It ended up being 1989.
Yeah. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
How's it going?
Hey, good. Always happy to see you. I'm always keep saying that too.
Cool, me too. Yay, I've been looking forward to this.
Huh?
I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, me too. It'll be good because you already have insight and then it'll be the relearning,
Excellent.
that combo in real time.
Yes, I love extra reinforcement for stuff like this. It's like, even though you know it, just kind of having it reinforced kind of helps, like, solidify a little bit more deeper into your knowledge bank.
And then here I feel like it's not enough, but that's only the perfectionist a little bit in me.
Which we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Like yesterday in the community breakout session, how that affects us.
You can, especially when you're trying to be in multiple worlds, or when the cosmos say, "Hey, you are this and this and that." It's about just finding that balance in it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Rebecca, we're gonna get started about 5 after.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll send the PDF of of the screen, not screenshots, but the slideshow. So that way you all
brilliant.
yeah. I try to do that. I think I did that with all the classes so that way you could go back to it because I realize my mind and I speak fast. So I'll just say up front, any questions or, hey, can we go back to that slide? That's fine. Yeah. Because I could do this in my sleep, but I just sort of want the presentation where people, I don't want to put you to sleep and I want you to be empowered.
Nice.
Speaking of which, Shawande, would you like Casey or I to help you monitor the chat box if necessary, or
Yeah.
do you handle on that?
That would be great. Because
Okay.
most times I miss it, like pants, I have to wait on people to say something because I'm whatever, just always thinking about the slides. So yeah, thanks.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. And Casey, your birthday again is 9.
No, you're right. 10/2/86.
10/2/86. Oh, let's see all these 80s born.
That's right, 10 and 2.
All of y'all.
Yeah, 10 and 2.
Rebecca, what second are you? Where were you born?
The 27th of April.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
You got Tart. You got April born. Look
yeah.
But I claim Rebecca because she's a Taurus like me. But if
Yeah.
April born, y'all could be like, whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talk about that. My cat was about to break down the door, and so I couldn't get to those slides. But that's a part of the astrology that we can talk about with it. What year were you born again?
72.
72. I'm like, oh no. She's in my decade in the 70s. Right, we got a little bit more going on and another different, we're oddly hooked in another way.
That's it.
All right. So we got 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so everybody's got birthdays coming up soon.
Yeah.
Exciting. Brittany, Kayla, Rebecca, Shawande. And then Casey's gonna bring it on back in that 10th month. And that's why she's our anchor, that
Nice.
platform builder, the one who lifts us all up higher.
So are you a Libra, Casey?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I like
Look
Libra.
forward to that Libra. Oh,
Yeah.
she's got Virgo. That's what I love in her because I don't have that. But Virgos get shit done.
Yeah.
And what about you, Brittany? What are you?
I'm Aries. My birthday is actually next week on the 20th.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Nice.
This week. No, it's Sunday.
Oh, yeah. What date is it?
Right, exactly. I know. Now it's Sunday. Yeah, it'll be this week on the 25th.
Nice.
And we'll be using my birthday as an example, and you all will see that it's a countdown to Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. All right, 1 minute. Ready to get the show on the Rizzo.
Man, I was thinking for you, Shawande, you got a lot of the fives going on. 5th month, 5th day, and then it's the 5-year.
Oh, and then there's one more 5 to it. 5th month, 5th day of the month, 5th day of the week at almost 5 o'clock, and now we're in a 5-year.
Ah,
Like,
Whoa,
wow.
like moving in every direction.
wow.
So I've never experienced 5 like this. Yeah, it is like change and the master rising. The one who's like, I'm gonna tell you what I know and I'm gonna tell you what I remember, and then we're gonna find vision while transforming and moving all at the same time. So, yeah. All right.
All right. Well, we're at 12:05. If you want to go ahead and it seems like we've already gotten started, but if you want to officially get started, I guess we can start now.
All right. Sounds good. Well, welcome. Welcome to day 2 with the Soul Summit. I'm really excited to be here. I am the one and only, the Cosmic Doc, and this part of the conversation will be more about the Cosmic Doc. But of course, I'm all of who I am, and I want us to, and that's what this whole workshop is set up for us to think about, exploring the infinite soul self. There is the infinite self, but we are all souls on a journey. So I want to start off always while I'm really sort of using these. So everything I'm speaking from is a channel. It is what we know and what we've kind of always known. And it's just about a return to the deeper origins of knowingness. So when you can just understand this, that see the path and you can trace the future. We're going to get more into that because when you see numbers and letters as symbols, then you can see more. So again, I like to kind of give people at least an overview of where we're going. So we'll talk just very briefly about me or what this conversation is going to come from. Who are you? And then we're going to really sort of very briefly decode the infinite soul self, and then get a glimpse and an introduction to who and how are you in the numbers, and where are you in the letters or the symbols, because numbers are symbols and letters are symbols. And then it's when we can begin to see the symbols, but all of this comprises what is called a vibrational language, where every letter and every number can essentially come alive to tell you and allow you to see more. So we're also going to go into the coolest thing that everybody's talking about now, as astrology, and thinking about where and how you are in the cosmos. And then I'm going to remind us about the 3-way cosmic decode. So if on a basic level, say you met someone, I don't know, right now in 10 minutes, and you got their birthday, then you can kind of go, oh yeah, let me see how they shine. Let me see that moon. Let me see the rising. So that's like where you can quickly get to some things. So all of this conversation today is to set up to empower us. And I also want to point out, if you have any questions at all, if you want me to go back to something, slow down, let me know. So, all right, who am I? We'll start there. Who am I? Again, I am the Cosmic Doc. I'm also Dr. Shwande Mustakim. But who I am is embedded in the letters and the numbers. So then we can ask, who are you? And when we answer that, it could be like, I am who I am in my name. But then there's so much more to us. Our birthday, our name can tell all the vibration and the many vibrations that are working together on who you are. And the soul journey, you are moving and navigating the changes to uncover who you are. So who you thought you were at age 20 is, I'm sure, very different at age 30 and where we are now. So the who you are is continuing to evolve. And if I were to point very quickly, the you, we know that. The Y, the O, and the U, but that 0 is sort of the cycles and seeing in between the world and learning through the changes that are always happening. So now, what is this infinite soul self? There is the infinite self, and then there's the infinite soul self. So hopefully everybody can see there's the infinite soul self. And we just sort of say, what is that? Well, it's really many things, because it's many letters, it's many symbols. But if we go and look, and what I did is, and I want you to notice that I tried to show a ladder, so that way you can know it's the climb and the evolution and the navigation. It is activation. If we're just looking at an I, it's just like a 1. You are the 1. You are the I am I. Part of it. You are the 1. That is all about activation. It is about being pointed to the cosmos, to God, to the multiverses, whatever you believe in. And wherever we have more than one I, it is activation. But it is about finding your alignment with a soul. I'm moving quickly just so we can get even more to personal so you can understand yourself. But what I'm pointing out just very generally is inviting you to see more of what no one has ever told you to look at before. Look at the letters. See which direction they're going. They tell you more than we had seen before, because when we're just using letters to comprise a word without thinking about, hold on, this is a symbol telling me more. So wherever we see the word soul, the first letter, S, is about transformation. O is all about, again, it's a cosmic mirror in between worlds. A U is a cup that is filled with knowledge and emotions. And guess what? It can spill over. So we sometimes are living in other people's, not only their evolution and who they are, but things can spill out and over. But that L is saying that where are we in our learning, our living, our loving, and coming to the bridge point. So I'm going to come to all this, but I'm just showing you the symbols. When we say the self, same thing. The S is about transformation. However it starts is not how it ends. It is one that we could flip it, and it still will be changes that are like massive on very deep levels. And E is all about expression. If you notice, all the prongs move forward, and they're 3-pronged. So they're like, I love to paint. I love to run. I love to draw. It is all these various aspects of ourselves. And with the self, it is coming to learn to love yourself. So wherever there's an L, it is, again, finding that bridge point of how deep we go and then how we are in the world. So we got activation, alignment, transformation, having and learning and invoking emotional intelligence. And again, self-expression and forward movement. All right. So what I'm speaking from, all of this you can know. These books, there's Numerology 101. There's numerology 102, birthdays, life paths, and the personal years. And these are empowerment sources. So you can know, hold on, my letters tell me who I am and my name and how I'm evolving. Yes. If you have letters in your life, what you do, you live on somebody's street, avenue, drive, parkway, you have letters in your life. You have numbers in your zip code. And we're going to get to that. So now I want to go to numbers. We all love numbers. So let's just take a moment and look at the numbers. So we got a few 4 born, and we all know that, again, we're going to be talking a little bit about 5. So if right now we're looking at each other by way of the numbers, just off the month that we said that people were born, April, May, and then October, then if you notice the direction of the letters, so it's like a house. So those who are born in a 4 month, or if you're born on the 4th of the day, or you have a 4 in the year that you're born, you've come to get your house in order, to get the house of self in order, to come through crossroads and transformation. And what I'm doing is really tracing the path and showing you exactly what was there when you chose to be born in that month. I think it is very interesting to hear that the due date was supposed to be the 17th for Kayla and Brittany, and then how it played out between 2 different months is very interesting. Brittany, you've come here to deal with the unexpected and also to learn the multi-prongs of yourself. You're multi-talented. But then Kayla, you come here to go deep. Again, Kayla and Rebecca, you come here to go deep, to find your roots, to understand yourself, to work hard, and also to navigate the choices that will come. And me, 5, wide open in every direction, just whoop, 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 just a wheel moving. And then Casey, you come here to learn yourself and to move through, again, to see the mirror, look through it, and show other people. It is about a following. It is more than 1, it is many. 9, then we get to 10, and that's completion. This is finding my tribe. This is finding the many people that are much like you. So again, if we just start there, very basically. And everyone knows I love keyword sheets. So again, you can look at this very briefly. It's 0 to 12, and you can think about any number in your life, and you can begin to see more. So again, today is the 21st. Well, if right now we were looking at the 3, the 2, and the 1, then all of that is going to be about the self, groups, expression, living and learning more about the multitudes. So I'm pointing out really what's been there, which is waking that higher consciousness back up to. So the decade matters, the century matters. So if we look just very briefly as we're sort of looking in a bigger landscape, you can look for yourself. Again, a good bit of us were born between 1970 and 1980. And right now, I just want you to sort of see, where were we? Where have you evolved through? And where are we? We know we're in the 2020s, but then we still have 2030 coming, 2040. We know we want to be here till 3000. It might be a little bit impossible, but we will try. But take note of, when we were born, all of us who are here right now, and maybe in the future, those who are looking at this, we are all born in a century that is framed by the number 1. You have come to evolve and learn about yourself most. And you got a 9. Well, you represent the ending of the old, and now it is about stepping into the higher mind. So if we're looking, it is finding that higher mind. That 9 is really, and we'll come back to, it's like a P flip backwards. And that is the brain. That this is also letting go of things. Some people say it's endings, losses, letting go, but a 9 is about an ending. So here we are in a century that's framed by the number 2. And if a lot of us haven't noticed already, this century is the loudest that any of us have ever experienced. Before this, all we knew was the 20th century. Now we're in a century that's framed by number 2. It's loud, it's conversational, it's debative, it is emotional. You will hear me. It is all of that. And guess what? This decade is about to get even louder, because we have more than 1 2. So we were just getting a little teaser when things started in 2000. And then we were still kind of vibrationally living in the vibration of the 20th century. Let me not go too advanced with it, but just pointing out, what are we framed by? What are we living in? All right. So now I want to go back to the birthdays. We're just sort of, again, let's just say some of us, this is your birthday, or anybody's birthday. This is that moment. A birthday is the key to know, I won't say everything, but way more than people realize. So pay attention to in your birthday and also other people, or also say there is a date or there's something that has happened or that will happen. Pay attention to the direction of the letters, pay attention to of the numbers, but also pay attention to the letters. So a lot of people say, oh yeah, May 5th, 1978, and we'll totally disregard this. But when we look at the letters, hold on now, which direction is it going? What do we see? So again, we haven't seen that because we're just trying to get to we're trying to add things up and really kind of get to the ending, and you've missed the journey and the evolution that is happening. So again, just very quickly, you see 5, that's point forward, 1978. Let's say you were born February 6, 1996. Well, you got a little bit more going on differently because you're framed by an F. We got a 2. It's about partnership, just more than yourself. 6 might be about foundation, family, the higher mind, body, and spirit. So again, you'll see just kind of in looking at all of them, say you were born or an event happened in December. Well, that December is a doorway. But December also has, December is also about the self and the world. We're going to come back to that because December is the most expressive and most weird, eccentric month of the entire year. There's a lot of things that happen within the vibration of that, but we don't think about it because we're not always stopping and looking at the numbers. All right, so I'm switching now to the letters, and I'm just pulling back for us to all look at the letters. And we know that here's that basic alphabet that holds so much power. Every letter is a symbol, and every letter is a vibration we are living in. Again, your address, your name, wherever there's a letter in your life. So look at it as we're getting ready to move forward. I want you to go, Kayla, look, I want you to know, K to me is almost one of the loudest letters in the alphabet. You know Kanye's not quiet, and you know Kim Kardashian did not come here to be quiet herself either. Again, bold, big, all right? Part of it is finding your alignment, because half of it is an I, but then it is, what is that? Mouth wide open to the future. Woo! It's big and it's projecting. Even if, let's say you or someone else, whether the K, it doesn't matter where the K is, but most important about the vibration is that the loud vibration can also be internal. So that may mean that you come here. I have a K in my life, Mustaqim. So, whoa, it's going to be big. You will hear me. But woo, sometimes I struggle with my confidence that other people don't realize that I'm dealing with the big stuff inside. So again, when we go and we look, all letters have big vibrations. And there's the high and the so-called low. And we're coming to live and navigate through that. So right now you're seeing, so again, let's just say your name was Susie McElroy, but look at the letters. Which direction is it going? This person's come here to find out about me, but also to get the house of self, navigating many sort of the tides. It's the up, it's the down. Let's see, Quincy, where there's a Q, it's a little quirky. Yeah, most Q letter people they're just a little bit different. Sometimes they can be a bit very, especially the women, they can be they live like royalty, or they project themselves in a certain way. Like, I'm the queen, you're going to listen to me. It's very interesting because people don't even realize that they do it all the time, but we don't realize it because we're not looking at the letters. But so if right now, if we were to use Bobby Bright, almost if we're thinking about Bobby Brown, all those B's, secrets, is things that are held in, and wherever there's more than one letter, it is a higher vibration of it. So again, right now, I'm inviting you to see what once you see, let me tell you this, once you know, you can't unknow. And how exciting is that? Where here forward, when you meet somebody, when you see letters, when you see a name, you're going to think about it a little bit more. So hopefully everybody can see the keyword sheet. Can you see it? Let me see if I can move this. Can you see it now? All right, great. Uh-oh, let me go back. Hopefully it's not covering anything. Maybe it was covering up that N, but again, we'll come back to, or at least this is here, and it's in all of the books. I always have keyword sheets so people can go back to it as a reference point, because once you know, then you can really go even deeper. So again, as you're just sort of looking at the letters, and I'm gonna go to the next slide so you can see the 0 through the Z. So everything is written very logically. That means with numerology 101 is 0 to 12 because, well, we have calendars. We think in calendar months. but then also with the alphabet, A to Z, then we can know sort of logically. So we're looking at from 0 to Z, we're seeing there's a whole different vibration than it is from the A letter or the other screen before. It's all right. So I was giving you all that moment to find yourself. Rebecca, do you see higher consciousness? Of course you're an artist. Divine creativity can create beauty or fall into, well, that means you're navigating that. Wherever there's an R, oh my goodness, it's about transformation, and it's transformational fire. It is like coming here to really take the mind into higher directions. But what is also interesting is there are more people in prison with the letter R than any other letter, because let me tell you, some can fall on that hind leg. Now, especially, and I've even started going through like anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, but when you really go deep, then you will see more. But an R, I always find like, oh, those are fire people that most times I love. And these are the ones who walk in that higher vibration. Wherever there's a Z, that means they feel everything. Just like that X, it's wide open. X marks the spot. You feel everything in every direction. The Z's highly emotional because they see between worlds. They dream. I get excited when I meet people with Z letters in their life because I'm curious to see where they kind of have that emotional balance, because most times they're always psychics. They're always able to kind of tell a lot more. And again, we're just looking at the letters and what they show. So, all right, again, moving very briefly, the other thing we'll forget is that vowels and consonants, they tell you more. The vowels will tell you about yourself, your individual inner state of emotions. The consonants are you and the group. It is about yourself and the world. So if we're looking just basic, a V is about the arm stretched up to the world, but understanding your deepest core self. So wherever there's vowels in your life, they're telling you more about how you're here to find your emotions, your identity, and your activation. And the consonants, they tell you the C, wherever there's a C, you will be shown and you will show other people. So Casey, we know you have a C in your life. That means you come here to show on high levels, but it also means that at times you've got to retract and go within yourself, because it is so wide open and it is just like, woo, scream into the future, that sometimes we just gotta like move back a little bit. Hold on, give me a moment before you, hold on, maybe I need to be shown. So again, just looking at the letters. So, all right. We all live in the letters and the day of the week. What day of the week is it? Sunday. And what is the first letter? S. We're transforming. Everyone's transforming in this moment. You are learning yourself. You're learning this world, this vibrational cosmos that has been all around you. So if you think about, if you know, and even if you don't know, you can Google it. Find out, or really take more serious what day you were born, what day of the week you were born. Anybody want to volunteer that? Do you know? Nope. Guess what? Once you know, you're about to know what day of the week you always activate every week. I activate Friday every week. I turn up. It is very rare that I turn down. That is the day that I chose to come through the veils. So yes, fifth day of the month, fifth day of the week means that change and forward bringing. I didn't ask for your permission because I was born on a Friday. I'm forward moving. Let's go. All right. Anybody else? What day of the week? What we got? Come on, you should know yourself. See? Who are you?
We have some people in the chat who said Thursday.
Thursday. That means you come here to thrive. That the H is about climbing the ladders. It is about standing in your truth, hearing on both sides, and the climb, lifting as you climb, finding your emotional balance, walking and being the fire activator. Again, wherever there's a D, and guess what? Every day that we know, and in the world we live in, the current calendar and all the vibrations that we're in, there's a D in every day. And wherever there's a D, it's a doorway to new beginnings. A D holds the key to much deeper knowingness of yourself and so much more. So again, we're still just getting started. Days of the week. That means tomorrow, what? Monday. So if you're Monday born, pay attention to. Something may just really turn up. When I say that it turns up, that means it activates. But what's exciting is that when you really pay attention to your patterns in your life, then you can see and kind of live your life a little bit more in kind of what you lean towards. So on a Monday, I always am like, whoa, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go, let's get this together because I'm trying to get the house in order. And that M is like many things, multitudes, and all these ways, but also every day of the week has a Y. We may say, why is that? Well, I don't know, whoever created the alphabet for the time period that we're using now. But wherever there's a Y, that means, sorry, my brain is moving so fast. It represents the divine rod of truth. So where you come to a bridge point or the fork in the road, and you have the opportunity to make a divine right choice, but it is we are moving through that. So every day we have an opportunity to navigate one direction or the other. So again, I'm pointing out the obvious, but more importantly, I'm pointing out that on certain days, every letter has a whole new vibration. It contains a whole new energy for you and all of us to live and thrive in the world. Okay. You live in the letters of where you live. Let me see. Hopefully you can see that hopefully I didn't hit that. Okay. So hopefully you can see that I just had Atlanta, Pittsburgh. I'm sort of just placing places where I live, but nonetheless, what I want you to pay attention to is look at the letters for honestly all of it. It all matters. It doesn't mean that the A would matter more than the G. It just means that could be what I would say the first letter or the first number of anything is the strongest vibration. So Atlanta, Georgia, of course I'm the way I am. I'm from Atlanta because what? It is about new beginnings. We are walking in it. All right, all right, all right. Yep. But in Pittsburgh, well, they're a little bit smarter. This is where August Wilson, we're getting a whole deeper mind and all these other levels. LA, Los Angeles, hello, hello. I love what I do. It is about, that's right. The L, it is loving yourself, moving through those, seeing through to the truth and transforming all the S's and the E's, expressing yourself. And what a C, just like Casey, we got that C saying, C, we're going to show the world. Now, those who are in St. Louis, Missouri, or if you've ever been here, there's a certain energy here, and it is all about awakening and transformation. And some of us just getting turned over and over and over. I moved to this place in my life transformed on every level because look at all those S's. Oh my God, I already have S in my life, but now I'm living in 4 S's. Oh, all those O's, all those I's. Do you see what I am saying? Wherever you live, it just gets vibrationally deeper. So let's see. Okay, so I know this is, all right. So today is the 21st. Hopefully you can still see. All right, so every month, there is a cycle of numbers. It might only go to 28, or it might go to 30, or it might go to 31. Wherever that the number is, that's the core point of where we are. So today, here we are on March 21st, 2021. That is not on accident. Always notice the patterns. Wherever the 2 is and wherever that 1 is, that right there is saying the self learning with the group. It is the world, and then where you find yourself in the world. So as you come together in the learning, because again, you are the one, and as you come together with the world in the learning, all things come together because 1 + 2 = 3. And that is the apex. That is where sort of all things of who we are can come together. So again, here forward, I'm just going to sort of remind you that all the time. Pay attention to what's the date when you look at the numbers and you can see what's coming. So tomorrow, 2-2, it's going to be loud. Tomorrow, 2-2 is about mastery. It is about a higher amplification of what was been in the past, maybe a little bit oddly hooked, but it is about conversations that will bring us to a higher level. 2 + 2 is 4. But again, I'm just showing us to see what we should have already seen, really what our math teacher, or maybe when we even started, or our parents should have remembered. But hey, here we are now going back to the truth of what is happening in the world that we're in. So every month, doesn't matter if you were born that month or not, every year that we are here on this planet and in this moment, we're moving through different months. So here we are in the 3rd month. And I don't know about some of you all, but this has been the month of unexpected. Okay. So that means some things have blown in from all, and honestly, okay, so I'm in my 40s and we're going to get to this because you can know what's going to happen in your life by just looking at your age. But let me back it up. My brain is moving really fast. Every month we move through a different vibration. So we've gone through one. We know in January every year that on a universal level, I want to stand in a newness of who I am. Again, you're the one. In 2, in February, you probably had some partnerships, some deep conversations going on. Maybe there was a turning point at some point with you and the world. So again, in every month, there is a number. And every month, there is a letter. And when you see more, then you can know more of what is coming. So every summer, it is about you and then sort of finding the joyous part of yourself. Also, again, thinking about, so I'm looking at the letters, I'm looking at the numbers, but I just want you to see as we keep going, because it's telling the evolution, it will tell you what's coming. Next month, you're going to have some family stuff come on. In May, it's going to be about changes. In June, it's going to be about your family, core, foundation. July, time to awaken. 8, woo, find your power. September, time to let some things go right now. Woo, woo, let it go. Sweep it off. October, finding yourself in this new stage. All right, hold on, that moved too fast. Guess it's like, all right. And then November, or also, I want you to see this. I didn't point this out at the beginning. I was moving so fast, I didn't say this. That today's energy, if yesterday was 10, and I pointed that out in the panel that I was on, today we are in the 11 energy, which is about walking in between new worlds of knowledge. Today is illumination. Today, the lights of knowledge, of higher knowledge are cutting on. So we're in that energy. And the way you would get to that is really adding all the numbers with 3 + 2 + 1, and then that 5, and we're in that. So, all right, this is the other cool part, is that you can know more by looking at your age. So let's just say you're 23. You're like, yeah, I'm 23. Well, then I look at that and I think, man, you got a lot going on, because I see 2, 3, and 5. And when you look at your age, even if you're like, if somebody in here is 105, well, then you still have these triple vibrations, well, 4 vibrations almost going on. But the whole thing is that your age, if we just go basic, forget everything else with the numbers, go look at your age and write it down or visualize it in your mind, then you can begin to see the direction of where you are. If you're in your 30s, then I definitely, I was glad to get out of my 30s, because the 30s had too much coming from here, there, and everywhere. I'm like, when does this stop? This is too much. But I love my 40s, because now I can go deep and I can get my shit in order. I can go much deeper on the path. But in the 30s, it's like, you better get ready. Are you woke? Are you ready? And again, we're in that month of 3. So again, when you're looking at your age, when you're looking at the numbers, don't just add it up and just try to run to the end. Look at all of it. If you're 35, 3, 5, and 8. We got, yes, you're walking into your multi-prongs, but whoa, it's time for changes. But that 8, 8 is all about power, interconnection, abundance, and balance. If we look at it, you can turn over and topple over. So every number can show you more. Again, I'm loving the 40s. I'm just going to brag on it, because those 30s kicked my ass. But the 20s were great, because that was when I felt like, wow, damn, I'm smart. Because wherever there's a 2, that's where you also can find the genius in who we are that will come out. So every decade, every age, every number, you can know. And then it just gets even deeper. So again, the other thing about your age that I want you to remember is if you're in your 20s, look at the letters. Again, the 20s and the 30s, we're framed by the letter T. You're in your 40s, you are framed by the letter F, and also in the 50s. So then in the 60s and the 70s, then it is about that transformation. So if you only look at the first letter of your age, then you can see what is coming. So for me, I'm like, all right, forward movement, learning from what I've gone through, got the fires happening all around me. Okay. And then it's about standing in truth. So again, I'm just showing us some basics. All right. So what I was going to do now is we're going to shift to the astrological side of ourselves. And I was going to do that in real time, because I know some people have probably never looked their chart up. I love this site. It's basic. People have their favorites. Go to what you like. Love it. Just go to free. Don't pay for it. Just do it yourself. I don't even know if I halfway agree that you should pay somebody to even do a birth chart for you when it's been here free. So, all right, I'm about to hit mine. So On this website, again, it's really Astrolab, but it's alab.com. I've already kind of filled it out and I just wanted you to see. Free, all right? So I got my birthday, May 5th, 1978. I was born at 4:34 p.m. I did not point that out, but we'll come back to that. With you are also the numbers in your birth time. So hopefully I did this right. All right. So we don't want to go to the complexity. What we're doing first is look at if we're looking at it in 4 quadrants like a pizza, then you're looking at how much is forward, how much is moving out towards the world, how much have I come here, if we're just, again, looking at colors, doesn't matter about much else, except this is about the material world and this is about the spiritual world. So you'll see I have a little bit more going on in the mind, but it is about me coming to find my bridge of alignment. But a lot of things are in my mind. That means they're in the back of my mind as I'm trying to make sense of the world. This is where people they have their ideas of where and how the world should do for them, but where and how, again, I'm just sort of showing the direction. That is kind of the most basic where I want to start. But why I like this site is that it doesn't just say, oh yeah, you're a rising Libra. But again, we look at the degrees. So we have rising Libra. For most of us, when we think of when's your birthday and who are you, then we just go to our sun sign. And that's nice. And that says a whole lot, but it does not tell you why I am the way I am. So again, I'm a Taurus. Hey, that to me, again, we look at that letters. So we got a T, got to come here to find my truth. Again, we're looking at the numbers 1, 4, and 5. So that means as a Taurus, I've come here to transform and change, to really transform through the changes. So the next really important thing is in a chart, the moon. The moon really allows you to understand your emotions. So oftentimes people will hear me say, look, I did not ask for your permission because of the fire in me, because I have moon and Mercury in Aries. And again, hope I'm not moving too fast. I'm just sort of using this as an example. And then rising, you're seeing Libra. So here forward, I mean, I'm not trying to show me off, but I'm really showing you some important things to pay attention to in a chart. So when you're looking at the sun, that's how you shine. And the moon, that's emotionally how you are in the world. Now, the other important thing that we'll come back to, the moon shift just about 2 to 3 days every day, like sometimes between 1, 2, it depends. It changes a lot, changes often. There are new moons and there are full moons. But what is most important is go look at your moon to know who you are emotionally, and then go look at what moon are we in right now. So when we started this, or today, we're in a voided course. So we're in between moon and Gemini as we move moon in Cancer. And this isn't that advanced. Basically, what I'm telling you to do is go pay attention to the moon and then see perhaps if the moon is in your sign, because you may turn up when the moon is in that. Now, I want to keep going because there's something really important that a lot of us forget. So let's say you meet someone, they give you the birthday, maybe they give you the birth time, or maybe here's another thing to keep in mind and remember. Even if you don't know your birth time, the standard that astrologers use is 12 o'clock. So you can choose, well, I think I might have been noon or I might have been midnight, but 12 was the bridge point. So that's just fundamentally, if you're like, oh, this person seems so cool, and I want to know who and how are they? Because I will tell you, astrology can empower you to build your team. If you begin to really look at, hold on, how does their mind work? When you look at Mercury, then you can know mentally, how do they operate? Well, I know if I had somebody on the team, I want somebody who's mentally moves fast and their mind can move like a supercomputer. But then there's other parts of them that I need to know. Like, how is your heart? So your Venus tells how your heart is. For me, Gemini, I do many things. I love many things. That means like my heart is here to transform, set a whole new stage. Again, look at the numbers and the letters. Now Mars is how you move forward, your drive, your ambition, your movement forward. And we see a Leo, boldness, boldness, boldness. All right. Now, if out of everything, all the planets, I would say the most revealing planet to me that you should pay attention to here forward about yourself and other people is Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet. And then it really will tell you on the biggest level, how is this person here to live and to evolve? So me, yours, the one and only, Jupiter in Cancer. So that means I feel everything. So I could be talking to you and I'm feeling things that you wouldn't even know that I could feel, because it's just feelings, it's moods, and then I was raised by 2 Cancers. So it just gets deeper. So again, never let people reduce you to, oh, what's your sign? I know everything. No, you should know where my Jupiter is. Because again, if I knew then what I knew now, some people I would have never brought around me, because Jupiter is huge. It just brings about a lot of things. Saturn shows your responsibilities. How do you manage responsibilities? Are you irresponsible? Do you tend to dive in? Or are you one like, nah, you got it, I'll ride on your coattail? Don't you want to know? Do you want somebody like that on your team? This again, to understand how do you operate? And these are the things that people can hide, but this is the soul self. Yes, Brittany, sorry.
No problem. While you were on Saturn, I wanted to mention that Tiger had some input in the chat here asking, are there correspondences to numbers and planets? 30s are feeling very Saturnine, or maybe that's just the kickoff effect of coming off of the Saturn return. I don't know if maybe you had an answer to that.
That's a good question, because I think I always, well, not that I think, I look at things on the bigger level where I'm looking at what I feel oftentimes astrologers overlook, which is the vibrational, what is the Saturn itself and the letters reveal. And then when we're thinking about the Saturn return, that depends on the age, but the numbers themselves reveal how you are transforming through it. Whether it is, again, the numbers themselves reveal sort of our evolution as that planet was in that particular sign as we're born. I know we could actually talk about that a bit more offline, but I see where you're going. But again, I want to remind us that the letters and then those numbers can tell us a little bit more. Yeah, there's another astrologer, we were having a deep conversation about this more recently. All right, so we're still moving. All right, Uranus is sort of, I would say, where how you respond when things pop off, when the electricity runs high, how do you respond? Or this is also like the activator, the ignition, the activator, where things at night, how you respond. For me, well, my pathway is like intensity. Scorpio, it is like the magic. It is the underworld. It is really having to go deep, sometimes really having to correspond with in between other worlds and to transform in that. Neptune, I will tell you, is about where and how you and others activate your magic, but also where delusions can take over. So for me, it's interesting because I really do struggle with Sagittarius. When the moon is in Sagittarius, I'm lazy as all get out. However, Sagittarius does activate my writing. So with Neptune in Sagittarius and 17 degrees, wherever there's a 7, that means I can plunge deep. In another life, I'm sure I was a potent detective. That means I can go very deep in the writing, in the thinking, and it's unending. But again, I'm just sort of showing us, like, generally, how do the numbers and the letters and what Neptune sort of shows, what does that mean? Now, the last thing I'll point out is when you're looking at your chart or somebody else, Pluto really shows how you deal with power. So here we are in a world where we're like, you better check your privilege, you better understand your power. Well, you know what? I want to see, what does power mean to you? And with Pluto and Libra, that is me. My power is trying to be the bridge. It's trying to really bring people together to, again, that L, love myself and find my power, but also to balance the scales, to really try to find the best way through change. So I know I've moved through that quick, and I don't know if we have any other questions. Again, I'm leaving it super basic. I'm not going high advanced on that particular thing, but I want to go back to, so again, we looked that up with the chart. And again, so here's the 3-way decode. If you Well, if you're nosy like me, you'll make time. So most people say they don't have time to look up a chart, but trust me, I've been in multiple places. I could be at restaurants, bars, wherever, and I'll say, "Do you know what's your sun, moon, and rising?" And they'll say, "What?" I'm like, "Let me show you how to find yourself. Go to this website and then tell me, what do we see? Sun, moon, and rising." When you know that, you have the keys way more to know about people. So again, sun, moon, and rising. If we use myself as an example, Taurus, Aries, and Libra, well, some people might move out the way. Some other people may be like, please don't stop talking because you really know a lot. Then others are like, I'm waiting on the moment. When is she going to tilt the scales? When is she going to go deep? So and that is still a snapshot. So I'm empowering you on that because if we just are in the astrology side of it, there's some ways to kind of know everyone really quick, but this is also about familiarizing yourself with the zodiacs. So the last thing that I will sort of end as we open up to more of a bigger conversation, any questions or just any more about all this, because there's one other thing I want to go back to. All right, so in decoding the future self, that means every day, maybe make some time to write out what is today's date by the numbers. And that would mean, again, tomorrow it would be 3222021. And then what you do is you look at what is the central number. Tomorrow's 22. You look at that's the core point. And then when we're looking at the month, that is the framing of sort of the evolution. But then we're also thinking about what year we're in. We're in the year of 5 and have changed. 2 + 2 + 1 is 5. So again, look at the numbers of the day, and then we're looking at the symbols. That means look at, is it Tuesday? Is it Friday? Is it Sunday? And the direction of the letters will begin to tell you the flow of what is coming. And then also every day, begin here forward. Okay, please I promise you will know more and why the world is sort of happening the way it is. Start studying the moons. Let me see if I can pull up this website that I tend to use a lot. So actually what I do when I'm looking up the moon, I just do this. Kind of just general, like what sign is the moon in? And then I keep going, but my favorite is moontracks.com. It's simple, it's to the point. And then I can zoom in like, oh, okay, all right, March 21st. Whoa, moon is entering into Cancer. And guess what? It's there now. So every day then you can know, but tomorrow's, it's still moon in Cancer. But by March 23rd, the world is going to be bold. Hold on now. Who you think you're talking to? March 26th? By then the Virgo in us, as a world, we basically all begin to exhibit the qualities of these zodiacs. I would say that it's the cosmos giving us an opportunity to learn ourselves and to better have compassion for the world around us. I may not be a Sagittarius per se, but all of a sudden I may need to really understand what responsibility and prophecy and new adventures are. So every sign gives us new opportunities to learn ourselves and the world. So again, start studying the moon. Because I was like out driving today and then yesterday, they were just like erratic all over the road. And I was like, this damn moon in Gemini, they're over here cutting across 3 lanes. And it was just everywhere. And it's like, ooh, I'm gonna test you and I'm gonna see if you catch me. It's just all of that. So again, when I start having those moments, I'm like, hold on, where's the moon? Oh, okay. Let me get my butt off the road because moon is in Aries, fires happen. The fire trucks are always out a lot more. So again, as I am so-called ending and beginning for all of us, it is just showing us what else are the ways that we can know. Again, look at the moons, look at the symbols, look at the numbers of the day. All right, we can open up for any questions and answers. And I'm also going to make sure in this next slide before we go to, if anybody wants my contact info, here it is, but I can come back to it. But I wanted to open up for any questions or answers. But one other thing, actually, before I do that, because if we were starting with this, and this will be a good point of conversation, is that, okay, for example, we have 3 people who are April born. Now, all April born aren't all Aries. Some April born are Tauruses. Some March born are Pisces. Some March born are Aries. So when you look at your sign and then you look at your birth month, and you understand how you operate different as an Aries, Brittany, versus how Kayla operates as an Aries being born in April. But then Rebecca and I, we sure enough get each other because we're both Tauruses who love art. And we love all of the beauty of what Taurus like. We see that, but you're born in April and I'm born in May. So it is about navigating our signs, both within the letters themselves and what the zodiacs bring, but what makes us different. And maybe the other point of connection is the month that we're born. So maybe as we're talking more than if people want to invite or share that, then we can decode that, because then you can understand like, oh, no wonder you're like that and I'm like this. So there is always, it's so fun to know more. So, all right, I'm going to, I guess, go back to the gallery. Let's see.
And real fast, Shawande, while you're doing that, there was a couple suggestions of different apps you can use to keep up with those lunar cycles.
Mhm.
Tiger suggested Daft Moon on Android.
Yeah.
The cute little
How you
calendar.
spell it? Did you put it in the chat?
Yeah, in the chat there. And I also suggested My Moon Phase is one that I like as well on Android, just to keep up with the phase of the moon, what zodiac it's in, and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. Any questions or comments or just engagement on the learning? Did this open your mind up to something new? Or maybe I missed more in the chat, who knows? But hope you feel empowered. But I definitely want us to talk a little bit more. I think we still have some time to talk more about any of it.
I have
Yeah.
something.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I will start with like just like a simple, broader, general one, because I don't want to go into Astro Nerd land. When you were talking about the directionality and sort of like the energy of letters as symbols.
Yep.
How do you think about like fonts and like personal preference for font? Because I was like looking at my handwriting as you were saying that, and I was like, my F suggests something different.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because even the way that I write a 4, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, this damn thing. Okay, a 4 closed or a 4 open? Sorry. That's a good question. I think that's probably reflective of where we are in a more modern age, but meaning typography itself, I love it. That is going on another level of decoding that I love, that maybe you and I can talk about more and we can figure that one out. If we're talking about Courier New, or we're talking about, what is it, EB Garmin, or we're talking about Hellavita, all the various ones, like if you use it, are you activating that vibration? That's another thing to think about, because again, we're living in it, we're thriving in it. But great question, because we got to think about the expression of energy and how it's always manifesting all the time. But it is about seeing, and then once you see, then you can know more. Thanks, Tiger. All right.
That was deep.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was deep. So as those books in the beginning, are those, they basically kind of get you into the first steps?
Yeah, they're all reference points. So let's see. Here's what we'll do. I'll pull up a few letters from the book. Okay, so we can look even more specifically. Of course, I never know who's going to be here. So we'll go to you, Kayla, again, really quick, so you can see. And the way that all the books are written are like, if you just, you'll see there, it's written with keywords in mind, but it's like a snapshot. The books weren't written for you to go from cover to cover. They're like talking table books where you could be like, oh, tell me your name. All right, we're getting there. Hold on, let's Sorry, but if you're asked, if anybody has another question in the meantime, while I'm pulling this up, you can let me know. I just can't see you at the moment.
Let's see. Casey said, I'm curious about how this plays out in other languages now, like Spanish, since
I
Tiger
know, right?
before.
Guess what? That means I gotta find some other decoders or begin to like work with other people like, yeah, why don't you decode that language? Because if I start looking at it, then I'm definitely gonna be seeing other things that are gonna open me up. I mean, I can read French, but right now I wouldn't take what I have. Right now I'm like, English language is what I could decode the best. But this opens it up for those who can really know languages and then know the coded like symbology within it. Come on now, let's get to it. Okay, so we're
Yeah, and Tiger also added, yep, my birth name is in Arabic, which I can write, but it's a whole other system.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull it on up. This is obviously the file is pretty big. I'm just trying to get to some specific letters for it. Okay.
And yoga with Sanskrit. Good point, Casey.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming, y'all, I promise.
Oh, take your time.
Do it. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay, so I'll go back to screen share. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Move that. Okay, so K, you'll see an open rod of supreme expression. So for every letter, you understand the numeric value, the natural ruling element. What I did is I was able to get precise on each letter on which particular element out of the 4 elements. The planetary ruling, so what energy was coming in with a K, it is like a highest vibration of the sun. You come here to shine in high ways. But the other thing is that every, and I'm gonna come back to it just so you'll see, every letter has about 2 to 3 pages per letter where you can go back and just kind of know on a basic level. But here you can look at when a K is present, or what are the keywords, or what's the destined purpose? What are the lessons when we see a K? It's interesting over the years where people are like, how do you know me? This doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And I just was a channel. I'm like, hold on now. How did this happen? Oh, keep writing. So if we keep going, Ks are the light bringers hooked on supreme expression of many kinds. If a J brought in a vibration of uncertainty, swinging one way and the other, then a letter K is precise, direct, sharp, in profoundly immense ways. They embody divine love, great love for humanity expressed predominantly out within the world. And you see. So that's some basics. So we'll go Tiger, we'll go to T, right? Would we like to see T? Let's go to the truth. And Rebecca, you know we cannot forget about the fire. All right. The transformational fire. All right. T, the genius of debate, truth, and higher perspective. Tiger, don't you see yourself already? Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much.
Yes, very much already. And then you got a G. Come and gather with me. I am a guru. I do know more than you realize, but we will come together and talk about more of it. Again, we're just getting started. Okay, numeric value with the 20. It is about, it's really like, again, that 2 is that brilliant number. So numerically, we're seeing the T, it's coming in at a 20. Then the ruling earth, the ruling element is earth. It is about the connection, it's expression, it's forward movement, but very is about coming here to find your grounding. With a T, you got your ears wide open like an elephant. I heard what you said. And then it's about coming to your truth. I heard you. All right. So you are among the higher minded driven, the vibrational grouping. What I did for every letter, there is a certain pathway so you can know. Your destined purpose to see, to learn, to choose, to find balance with others, to know thyself. Let go of fears. Just let it go. And be the way shower. Tiger, how did I meet you? As a way shower. Higher mind, you get many perspectives. You're like, whoa, it just keeps going. But again, with the opportunities, whenever a letter is present, we don't think about that. We just see it. But there is the learning and the opportunities that we can gain. So in living with a T, and I'm just like you, I have a T prominently in my life. I'm coming here to live my authentic self and to find, and we will speak the truth. So you're very open. Again, if you just sort of see very briefly here, you walk that path on roots and core and the finding the depth. So hopefully that is, yeah. Again, some T's can be downright cranky. Yep, I know quite a few of them. You need your moment. Yep. All right. So let's see. All right. Yep. So you're getting a little glimpse. All right. Rebecca, we'll go to R. Let's go to R. And yeah, see TV. What is it? See again, I have to like go backwards in it. All right.
Tiger also added that he's Libra Sun, Aries Moon, and Scorpio rising too.
Whoa! Tiger, you said that? You said, hold on, I heard Libra, Scorpio. What was it?
Libra Sun, Aries Moon, and Scorpio rising.
Ooh, Aries Moon, just like me. Hey, I didn't ask for your permission. Wow!
Fire inside.
And we're in Aries season. You're about to turn all the way up. And yeah, you and Casey should connect, Libra. And no wonder, look, Brittany, you know that Scorpio, and you know we got Scorpio.
Yes, Scorpio.
It's passionate. I gotta get to the bottom of it. There is no how deep I will go in the quest for truth.
Yeah.
This stuff is fun. All right, Rebecca, let's show you. So, sorry I didn't have that bigger. Okay, but the spark of intelligent creativity and transformational fire. This is typically wherever there's an art, extremely smart. And again, some set fires, new ways of let's take it to a higher level of living, activating, and just understanding, moving through these changes. All right, so with the R, we got 18. That is about you standing next to your power. And in doing so, it is about the connection of others. Of course, look what's happening. We're connecting on this global stage. That's the 8. That's the interconnection. So the ruling element here, again, fire, turn it up. All right, planetary ruling Sun, Mars, and Neptune. That is about the shine, the drive forward, and activating your magic in the living. You are also among the higher minded driven. Now, your destined purpose to test, to be tested, to experience rebirth and regrowth, and to understand the realms in the many capacities. So with the keywords, it is about you understanding your determination, using it in the right ways, being efficient, having compassion. But this practical intelligence, every R letter, they just show me other ways of survival that I've never seen, where I'm like, man, you just know. But again, then they also really, they like are magnets. You draw different types of people to you. So wherever there's an R, it is about standing in your dimensional power, your multi-dimensional power. Letting go of the old. All of this is what we were even seeing in your birthday and your being here. So again, I'll just sort of show this here. R's bring the strongest vibration of real life, while Q's bring the rather unique. R's always carry the real, raw, rhythmic, relentless, even rage. Don't I know? And looking at history. Okay. So again, your many things. And again, this R, maybe you live on a street with an R. Maybe you have a child or a partner that has an R. Sometimes those fires can ignite. And it's just about, understanding that balance in it. But wherever there's that R, it is about giving birth to things that some people can say are impossible. It is a higher access to the realms of art and manifestation in other ways. So, all right. Any other letter we want to look at?
Yeah. I was looking at my entire name, and the letter that comes up the most is N.
N. Oh, yeah. Navigating between many worlds, NOP. Right. Okay. All right. Let's look at it. So an N is really kind of like an H, but it has a sharper sort of navigation to it. So again, an H would be like, straight across, but at the same time, so it is moving up and navigating in between two worlds. It's like, if we were to see this as an 11, and it's you moving through the ladder of change and all the time. Navigation, that is fundamentally what I want you to see there. But this is why you're good with so many different types of people and knowing how to navigate in between different types of people and different types of worlds. So the ladder of growth and universal expansion. So that explains how we met and how we met through Casey, the expander herself. But then you are already here on this pathway to expand. And then we were connecting at these moments of expansion, volunteering, and then now we're giving to the world. So, all right, 14. That means that you go deep, you go really deep in the mind, but you also hear things. It is about the communication as the air flows, being in the flow, and also being open to the cosmos and the knowingness that will come in. You are among the vibrational grouping of the seekers, the one who want to know, and it is about making time for that, figuring out the ways, the everyday ways of the learning. Again, you see your destined purpose to help, to empower, to transform. What? That's Brittany. Absolutely. And ascend beyond imagination. Oh my God, did you realize how great you are? But then what if you are 10 million times greater? And it's about you understanding that and seeing that. And it is that. It isn't even about what if. It is. Now it is about seeing the how. So in the end, it is about stepping through the crossroads. When you're navigating, you're having to, let me move around that. and having to figure out the different ways to move higher on the pathway. But it is a change maker, being fearless, really learning our emotional balance, guard against anxieties. Whoa, wherever there's N, what you see that N is in anxiety. So it's about, we're having to navigate the duality of ourselves. We're having to navigate this moment, this mood. So that is all a part of it. In that N, how funny is that? All right, okay. Higher growth, vibration of self, home, and the dynamism of your mind. You know you got a light on the mind all the time. And then it is about, okay, which way do I go? Hold on now. Oh, I need to go. Whoa. But then it's just, again, you're moving in between that. It is quite the high vibration. Again, you're seeing, you just stand in crossroads and choices all the time, and then it's about you moving towards the best pathway of how you want to grow. Where do you want to activate? Not just where you want to move, but where do you want to grow? And where do you want to truly expand? It's all right.
Yes. Thank you.
When you know, you're welcome. If you see a lot of the same letter, it is important. All the letters matter, but wherever you have more than one, that it shows your world and your universe. All right.
And Tiger also added that he's literally buying this book right now.
Yay! Oh my gosh! Yay! Right. Hey, yes, it's the only one. Remember, when you were born, a vibration was unleashed in a whole other way. And it is about you activating that on that higher level. And when you know, telling you, it's like a whole universe is about to open up for you. It's been amazing to see people especially now, women who are families are expecting children. Now they're seeing the value in a book like this to know whoa, well, who do I really want to bring into the world? What vibration in that way? So again, we're thinking about this can really help you to with real estate. Say if you're going to be moving to an apartment or a home, you can know, I'm not dealing with that energy. And and look at zip codes, look at the numbers in your phone number, look at everywhere you lived, and you'll be like, oh, if I knew then what I knew now. Because when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have had my own books then. So I'm so excited.
I am not trying to take up a lot of airtime, but I literally just bought a house and I looked up the address after, I did after the fact,
yeah.
Which is fine. But what was interesting about it is there's it's an 8 house, the address is an 8. Right? And so on the one side, things that I was seeing was sort of cool, what this can be good for is, and Scorpio rising pattern, we mentioned that, right? So can be helpful for nurturing and leaning into and having a space to dig into your Scorpio occult layer and sort of build into your spiritual practice. And also don't throw too much money in the house because you are so likely to do that. And I'm trying to watch myself on that, but it's just that's a pattern that I have though, because of other placements and like 12th house nonsense. But
Oh, right. Oh, in the mind and the dreams and the self in the world.
Anyway, just had to.
This is, well, here's what, so if everyone were to use yourself as an example of your address, you can just look at the numbers and that tells you one thing. And then when you're looking at the letters and they tell you even more. So like, I'll share with everyone, my address is 4607. And when I moved here, I hadn't written the books. Actually, all the books got written in this house, in this apartment that I live in. That is that 7. And all of us in this building, like we all get along, but we all like, we don't hear each other. We keep to ourselves. There was a guy who used to live in this building for like 20 years. It's where the recluses are. The 7 is about the depth. Give me some space. So I was born in 1978. I might be a little bit different, but just give me a moment. I need some time to myself. But if I was born in 1955, who knows? All those 5s, hello, I want to be seen. It might be very different. So with a 4, 6, and a 7, 4, 6, and 7, forget adding it up. We look at each number and that vibration individually. It has told the story of this apartment. Choices, crossroads, having to think about family, awakening, where and how can I have the bridge of alignment of body, mind, and spirit? All of a sudden, I'm doing meditations here. All of a sudden, the sound bowls, and we're just going deeper. And that 7 is also about sacredness, awakening to my deepest core self. And I could not awaken in the way that I am in my last place because that address I was living on a street called Dartmouth. Now I live on Shenandoah. So it's time to transform. The doorways are open. They were open all the way through. And then when you left, now I'm in this other vibration. So hopefully that gives you a sense. You can know where you are. You could just know it all from my perspective.
I have a question.
Okay.
Because this is kind of like weird space for me, but growing up or like actually understanding that my last name, Holland, is not my last name. So I don't know exactly what our last name on my father's side is. Does that affect my like letters?
Nope.
Can I? Okay.
Because so here's what's been happening. You've been living in the vibration of Holland. You have embodied the vibrations. Even if you find out, it was Johnson. Well, if you begin to take that vibration on, then you're going to live in both of those. So even if you change your name, so my father changed his name, but he would never, so he changed it to Muhammad Mustaqim, but he was Calvin Wood before. But his life was both. That meant he was managing the multitudes of many and coming to his awakening. But Calvin had to be shown a lot, and Calvin was coming here to show the world in other ways. So you are all of that. It is sort of like, again, if you find out this other last name, then it's going to be you living in a magnified world. But you are Holland. It isn't about, we don't know. You are it. It is, you do know it. You know it in what that represents. It's the H, it's about the climb. It is about double L, right? Or one.
Double.
Yeah. Double L, walking in between worlds, really learning yourself, loving yourself, walking through the newness and navigating in between these worlds, just like Brittany, you both share that N letter. And the D is the doorways, the interiority, you. It is all about activating the keys on the pathway of awakening. Yeah, so all right. Yeah, so all right. Any other questions? We still have, I think, 15 more minutes. There's so much more than we can go. Tiger, when's your birthday?
It's October.
For now, go ahead.
Yeah, it's October 16th, 1986.
Look at all, what do we see? What do we hear? A lot of 6s. That means foundation, family, the bridge of the higher mind and body and spirit. Like Casey, you were born in the 10th month to come and learn yourself, to see through the cosmic mirror, to show other people themselves, to gain a following, to move to a higher place on the platform. Let me see what else we got. Oh, looks like, didn't you just mention the number 8?
I did.
So a part of your core point is coming here to learn your power and abundance. 6 + 1 + 1 is 8. So I'm adding just that before we get to the year you're born. But that 8 is about finding your balance. It is abundance. It is the interconnections of everything. It is the infinite. All right, 18, okay, 10, 18, okay, 9. All right, yeah, okay. Sorry, give me one moment to add up. I have to slow my brain because it's actually kind of doubling. Okay, if I added this up right, now I understand even more how I'm meeting you. Because to 1986 born, again, if we add this up, I see 24. 1 + 9 is 10, and then 10 + 8, then that would be that, well, yeah, again, 8, 1 + 8 is 9, 9 + 6, that is 15, is it? Is that 10, 15? Yeah, so it's about a 6. Anyway, again, that's getting you back to that 6 all over again. And then with that 6 + 8, oh yeah, you're the change bringer, because 8 + 6 is 14. And then that gives you a
5 life path.
Yep. So you're a 5 life path, which you knew. I was trying to get to it to understand it myself. So all
No.
of this makes sense. It's like new platform power with the change bringer who is going to do so through conversations, choices, and depth that comes through that world, the body, mind, the spirit. But I like your number 5. All 5s. Hello, you're in a 5 year. So in a 5 year, if you are a 5 life path, that means that your overall life is about to amplify. It already is. And it's going to amplify even more in the last 2-3 months of this year, because your new year starts in your birth month. And we're in 2021, but you're still moving through the flow of the energy that activated on your last birthday in 2020. So by 2021, between October and December, things gonna pop off. And then into 2022, it will continue to pop off all the way until 10/15.
Word. I keep seeing stuff about like post, the later half of this year, like the last quarter, like October through December. I was just looking at it astrologically.
Yeah.
But
And then what happens when you combine all these systems? So when I hear people say, oh, well, astrologically, I'm like, great. Then we bring in all the other parts of it, symbology of all of it. Then you can see your universe, and you can know exactly what's coming on what day, what month. You can, and then we haven't even touched the other system that to me is, this is great, but then there's a whole other matrix that really take you to a higher level. Some people like Rebecca, she had gotten a reading from me, and what I do is I integrate 4 systems. So there's one other system, the Destiny card system, that really can take you there, but we didn't have enough time, or else then I would have showed you why people can charge $200 to $300 per reading, because of how deep, and it tells you the truth of everything. So I just gave you all 3 systems. So that was a lot in and of itself. I hope everybody feels empowered.
can I ask a basic question about?
I hope I can answer it.
No, I think this is a basic question. I think.
Okay.
So like in thinking about planetary placements like addresses, which I don't know is valid, but let's like imagine that you were. So like my Mars is 4 degrees 17 seconds of Aquarius. Is it a similar thing where you would like write that out?
You said Mars, how many degrees? 14 degrees?
4 degrees 17 seconds of Aquarius.
Of Aquarius? Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'm just curious, like, would you approach that as like writing that out in words, like including like degrees and seconds? Would you not? Like, how do you know what to include?
For me, I'm looking at it, and I wrote it down so I could look and think about it, is that I know that within Mars, it is like, where are you or an average person coming to get the house of self in order as you move forward? So we know that with the M. But then with a 4 degrees, that is about the hard work and the choices, these crossroads with the 4 degrees, and that points to where the doors are opening, the degrees. And the seconds are transformation. So 7 is about the awakening, and then how you will transform is most through the awakening. It's going to be oddly hooked because Aquarian, it is going to be global, humanitarian, technology. So that honestly, to me, almost reveals a dissertation of understanding of like how deep you can go. So look at all of it. And then also add it up, because then with 7 and 4, we're getting 11. So all of that matters. But 4 degrees, that's really saying any number with the degrees, that is where the door openers are. And then with the seconds, that is about the transformation. Does that help?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Still
good.
have
And the letters.
books.
So you're going to go to sleep and wake up like, whoa, oh, everything has come alive. Whoa, why didn't you tell me? Then it's just, yeah, it's going to go on to new levels, and we're all going to stay in touch with this and empower each other more. This is what this Casey, Brittany, everybody, they all know this is what it's been leading to. I've just been having to move in the flow to give as much as I can while worlds are coming through my mind.
That's awesome. So for me, I've noticed that at least starting last year, that my age adds up to the year. So
Wow.
we had 2020, I turned 31. So I had 4 and 4. And it's the same this year. So I'm 32.
Yes.
It's a 5 year. So I mean, I'm assuming that means that this is going to be like a transformative year, but from like the systems that you use, what would you say I should expect maybe with that alignment?
The first thing I should remind you is how perfect the cosmos are, how perfectly aligned it was in the moment that you did come through, not when it was predicted, but when you came through the veils. I always, like, when we discovered the patterns that we could easily overlook, it shows the perfection in the pathway, but also for you each year it is a higher amplification of that energy. So last year, those crossroads came. You had to make some choices. And this year, it is about to change. So what I would say is, maybe for the rest of your 30s, go and look at what is that core number. So now you know, okay, well, then we're going to move to 6. We're going to look at that progression because you're on a cycle. And the cycle always starts over, but it is about knowing where we are. In a whole other conversation, I knew we were going to run out of time, but the personal years and the personal months can tell you then, and you can really know what's coming for you in April, what is coming for, like, okay, so Brittany, perfect example. You're born in March, and every April, partnership, duality, something with you in the world, every April, because that's your second month in the planet. And then in May,
my anniversary is actually in April, so that
I was saying, look at that. And then I was going to ask you, what's your wedding date? Because then we can go and look at the energy on the wedding date, and woohoo, it tells so much more.
I was engaged and married on April 20th.
Oh, look at that. 2-0. Oh, 2 minds coming together on this higher divine path. 2-0 is very, very powerful. Oh, I love it. Yes. So you see how perfect it is? It's like, oh, yeah. It's a good addiction in a great way, I gotta say. But I came, honestly, I took the wrong path according to some, because I knew I knew the bulk of this as a child, and I couldn't explain it. So that meant I would score off of all charts on math, but I wanted to write. So it became like, oh, but you're good at math. And then yet when my mom was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Oh, Mom, don't worry. Shwande, when you grow up, what do you want to do? I'm going to study ghosts and murder. We're going to be rich and famous. And what do? Study ghosts and murder. But I also now have come back to, as a child, I knew numbers. Whoa! And then all the worlds came alive. So, yes, where we are on the pathway, it is about activating our true and authentic self. At almost 43, y'all better get ready, because the real me is about to come on through.
I know that's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So all that information, look at that. And we have 5 minutes to spare. See how it worked? I sat, called in the cosmos. We got to make miracles happen. And then boop, boop, there y'all go. Any other final thoughts, comments? Should we do this again? Should we have more? Please, yes, say it. Let Brittany and Casey and all of us know. Like, Rebecca, don't you know your neighbors should know this too? We should be having like some, hey, introduce your neighbor to numbers or something. Have, more. You got it. Well, Brittany can help me with that. Come on, sister. How should we empower the future? All right.
Make it happen.
We will make it happen. And here we are saying this in the month of the unexpected, where the creativity can go to the highest level. Whoa! I am feeling charged up.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well, this was really, really good. Again, I'm honored that you all made time for the workshop, but the workshop most is for you all. So I am a channel in that and a conduit of the cosmos for us. So let me see. Let me pull up that. I have my information if you all wanted to stay in touch. Okay. Where did it go? All right.
I'm not ready to book at the moment, but how would one do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the website.
All right.
See, that's called, oh, of course you're gonna pull that up. All right. So the cosmicdoc.com is my website. And what you can, I did type that in right. Yeah. Okay. So you can go to and you can see the different services and pricing. And the service is what I actually will call people's attention to. I don't know why this is taking a moment. Probably because I had so much going on. All right, actually, I thought I had it up here. Here it is. So here's the website, the Cosmic Doc, and I'm trying to get it to scroll down, but we're gonna click on, just moving too quick. Okay, so the services, let's close that. Come on, computer. So yeah, we could do astrology reading. I don't know why, again, the cosmos. Come on now, let's get it going. All right, birthday readings, destiny cards, name reading, distant healing, psychic medium readings, relationship readings. I also do Reiki sessions, tuning fork Reiki sessions, and I'm going to be teaching tuning forks and also getting into cosmic light group sessions on Zoom, because I can look at anybody, I can feel anything. If you text, I can feel stuff through the phone. It's just a whole other level. So I'll go back to the slide really quick, just so you can see my information. All right.
And we have a few testimonials here. Rebecca said her reading was amazing. She highly recommends one. And Casey said she loved her tuning fork session. It was
nice. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully you can see the website, Facebook, Twitter, email. What'd you say, Brittany? Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was just saying Tiger's interested in a group session with his partner.
I would love it. Okay. Yeah. Let's definitely do that. Or if you see something else that you would like, we can talk about it. Also, more people are contacting me about empowerment, where they want to learn from me, and I want to set more of that up. So again, this is the beginning of more, because this is the future and it'll take us to that higher level. So yeah, you can send me an email or any of the various ways, but I highly recommend email the most. But all the other social medias, I pop up here and there. Another that I don't have listed that I've been using more is an app called spoon.com of Spoon. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like another version of Clubhouse. However, it is where Android people actually are allowed to be on that. And that has been where I've actually been finding a whole other audience. I'll do cosmoscopes every day, or I'll go decode the moon, or I go just talk about different aspects of the cosmos. So if you find yourself on Spoon, the app, you can look up the Cosmic Doc. And lately, I just find that has been a powerful space and a site for me to begin to kind of find my voice and share the cosmic knowledge between many different worlds. So, yes. All right. So hopefully you all were able to get that contact info and stop that share. So
All
yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much, Lawande. We
Oh,
appreciate
you're so welcome.
taking
Right
time out and showing us that. It's always exciting, even though I know I have almost free access to you and getting to be able to work with you. And still, every time we talk, I feel like I'm always learning something new. So I appreciate you bringing that to our group this weekend. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It seemed like you all did.
Yeah.
If you guys
Good. Yes. And we want more. Yes, yes, yes. You got it.
Yeah, we were just saying before it started that, maybe this is something we can turn into a weekend. And if you all will be interested in that, please, we appreciate your feedback. And, if you want it, we can make that happen for you.
Yeah, because Rebecca had done the Decode Yourself the 6 week. So she had seen the 6 classes. And now we're going to do think about it, immersive weekend. You want to learn about yourself. I had also taught how to decode your boyfriend, your girlfriend, those are the beginnings. You can decode even your animal. It is about wherever there's a name and the numbers. So we can build that. If you feel like you want to be empowered and you want to bring other people into that empowerment, that is what Spirit is doing and working through us with that. So this is just the beginning of so much more.
Yes, I'm excited. Casey said a whole Shawande weekend.
Oh, if y'all can handle that, we'd be grumping and dancing and we'd be doing it all. So.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks everyone for participating. If you want us to hang back, well, I guess we will hang back for about 5 more minutes for anyone who may want to ask a little bit more or get into something a little bit more personal. You're welcome to. Otherwise, you're welcome to drop off, and we'll see you back at 3, the same link, and that'll open up for our community Q&A, and that'll be led by me and Liberty Miller. And it'll just be a chance for us to be able to reflect on all the topics and maybe some stuff that wasn't even brought up this weekend yet, and to be able to talk a little bit more openly with each other. So we will see you all at 3. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you. That was great.
Bye.
Oh, miss you. See ya. This is great. You so much.
Thanks, Shawande.
Oh, you're so welcome. Did you learn a lot, Casey?
So much. Well, I've been reading the books. I've got all the books now, so I've been just referring to them whenever things come up. It's like a great workbook, like a great resource.
Yes.
But that was great to have everything presented so comprehensively,
Yes.
So
Okay.
way to get it all to fit.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I was like, oh, okay, we got to cut that, but we'll make sure we go in the flow later in the conversation. So.
Yeah, it seemed like you did have to cut a lot. So I think a whole weekend for you where you can get into the nitty gritty of everything would be nice.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. And then we just think about the people that are coming and what they want, because everything is decodable. Everything. Self, partner, again, you got something coming up, then it can be tailored for deeper knowledge.
Yeah. I love that.
I just feel like it's
this maybe a series, around this.
Yeah, I would love it. Woohoo.
Yeah, what were you saying, Kayla?
No, I was just saying how we were talking about yesterday when we were thinking about how we navigate through the world and how that can make us feel like we don't have any value or that we're not enough, or that that I feel like that diminishes when you know. And so this kind of part of it, I feel like was extremely crucial, because now with that understanding of being able to know, you find your value because it's there in the numbers, it's there in the letters.
Yeah, you're like,
it was pretty cool. I was really trying to figure this out.
Well, again, I know we recorded it, and I'll also send the PDF so that way you can see it combined, because I know that we're all different types of learners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. I also find, Kayla, too, when because now you're also aware of what obstacles you're likely going to run into. So then when you start to question your value, why am I going through all these things? Then it's kind of oh, okay, these are just the lessons I'm supposed to learn. And then it feels a lot less like you're being attacked by the universe and kind of more like you're being groomed by the universe.
Exactly. When you then see the cosmic lessons, the rewards that are happening all at once, no, this isn't an accident. This is all that moment. So you can have a choice. We always have choice. You can go high on the pathway or you can go lower, and they always activate in different ways. So, it's just gonna get deeper, y'all. I'm so
That
excited.
brings us back into like the Pulp Fiction conversation.
Yes,
All of it.
yes, that's perfect. Yeah,
So
that's
good.
weird.
I'm glad that everyone could see themselves, find themselves, and your value. Look at that. You are everywhere. You are a part of the cosmos. So, there is this understanding that to say I am is the most powerful thing that you can say. And look at those letters. I, finding the alignment. A, finding the breath of life. M, that is about mastering myself. I am amazing. And all letters, activate that too. So,
And see, that brings a whole new meaning to affirmation.
Yes.
How and why they work.
right. You are the vibrations that you think, that you speak, and that you believe. That is
Which is, it's so crazy because that gets into the concept of understanding that whatever you say, like, is crucial.
it
Where's-
manifests.
Yeah, and it comes out. And so you literally make the choice to create your world.
Yes. You are the greatest manifester. So you think it, it'll manifest. We're in the Aquarian age and we're going to live through it. That means be really, really mindful of your thoughts and what would I like to see? If I had this moment right now to manifest right now, whoa, I better be very careful. My mind's that powerful? Because we haven't talked about, I will be stepping into telepathy 101. There is so much. I came here born of a genius who has shown me how to use the mind to visualize, to activate, and then I can take it to another level where, for instance, one person had contacted me like, I'm having a bad day at work. Can you just send some energy? I was like, yeah, no problem. The next day, her boss acted like a completely different person, was giving everything away. They're like, we don't know what is happening, but the energy has changed in this entire building. So my friend was like, I don't know what you put out there, what you thought about, but it changed everything. I said, you got what you asked for. So, but I directed the energy. So I can teach us how to direct energy. Oh, there's some things I can teach us what you can do with your mind.
Yeah,
Blow
that's
your mind.
sign me up for that one.
Do it, do it.
Yeah.
Tiger, you be thinking about this. Your mind is just
I'm in many places. I just started like writing you an email too because it's like
nice, perfect.
But yeah, I think like on this theme of writing and speaking, right?
Yeah.
You know, like we talk a lot about like if you really want to manifest something, write that shit down.
Yes.
But it's like what's
Decision-making.
the cross-cultural and like cross-alphabet conversation that happened for a half second was making me think about, there's because I think about like the sonic level
Yes.
of like different sounds have these universal cross-cultural appeals.
Yes.
But then also this actual like visual symbol and thinking about because like I like in astrology I think about this of like tropical versus sidereal. And how some things show up as like, okay, this feels like how it gets charged in the Western frame and mind, and how it shows up in your chart differently when you look at it that way. And I feel like this question of like scripts and typologies and alphabets is actually, I'm like curious to think more about that in terms of, what different letters like have they're pointing to.
Yeah.
When they're written and how that manifests differently. And, like, I think some of the conversations like in Vedic astrology, right? Like Saturn or Venus is even better. Venus has like a much more like a warfare edge in Jyotish in Vedic astrology. And like that gets lost when you're looking at it in this different frame. It's not seen as this like, I'm going to fight for what I love and protect. Like that goes out the window. I mean, not entirely, but not up front. So I'm just curious about all that. I'm gonna email
When you just mentioned about sonic, it came to mind where I was thinking, like when I was in Brazil and I didn't know the language, but I could listen, and so what you just said, the sonic side of it made me think, if I say thank you to a man or to a woman, I'm enunciating it different. Obrigado, obrigada. And then like what that is vibrationally pushing forward in a whole other way. So the sonic side of it, the seeing, and then that energy. Actually, when I just said it two different ways, I felt it. So I feel vibrations of things that we say, and how they come out. Oh, this is just gonna go so deep.
Oh, Casey and I were just talking about that last weekend.
Wow.
That perfect alignment is interesting. We were literally having that conversation on the car ride to and from the campgrounds in Manitoba. And we were talking about like, yeah, what does that mean? Like how does that show up vibrationally in terms of in other languages? Because Casey's on her journey of learning Spanish, and we were talking about using each other to practice and like what that means because of the I guess the masculine and feminine charges in different languages that it kind of shows up in English. There are masculine words and feminine words, but not necessarily in the same
Other languages.
as in other languages. Yeah.
I think this is going to be an opportunity to invite all of us to find other people who are awakening that speak other languages, where we can then come together to say, what do you see that then you can show us? So the fluent Spanish speakers, the fluent, you speak Arabic, you can speak, all these different things, and then we're all seeing together. Because again, I will say, I'm like, man, if all we're doing is English, this just getting started. But then there's just a whole understanding of the power of language that was created, and then why it was created, and why the letters, like when you look at the directions of the letters and where they used to be, they do not look like anything of what we have now. And that to me is the power untalked about, because who determined the direction of the letters? There's a book called The Secret Science of Symbology by, what is her name? I'm trying to look for it. It's the only other book like mine with symbology, and her book inspired mine. But what I like about hers is that she's showing, like she shows in the book what the letter had looked like before it became K, before it became R, or, but we don't care because we're like, the alphabet is the alphabet. But I'm like, okay, well, before whatever we hold as the standard, there was a whole universe of language, and that was all symbols. So, yeah, this is where I kind of have a whole other nerdy side that I can't understand why I know it. But
it's exciting though.
It is.
And then Casey and I, on top of that, we're talking about how in other language, outside of the whole masculine, feminine ways that they present language, but how they have words to describe things that the English language doesn't even have. Like it's not even translatable into English because, and then we were talking about what that may do to the like psycho-spiritual experience in terms of like not having the language or, the access to even decode these experiences because there's nothing in our language to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it's just kind of interesting.
Today you all would say that you got an introduction to what they call a vibrational language. That's what this is. So someone had predicted before the books that I was going to be teaching a whole new language. And I was like, what? I speak English and barely can do French. And they were like, oh no, there's this whole new vibrational language you're going to speak. I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I just saw it. And I'm like, come on, let's get to the truth. Come on, it's all here. So this is really the language of the cosmos. And then when you decode it, then you can understand the layers, the matrix, the many multi-worlds and multiverses that we operate in. All right, y'all know we better stop now before we get lost and then it's 3:00.
I know. Oh, I love nerding out on stuff like this. We definitely have to have a weekend of it.
Cosmic nerd.
Yes. Look, write that down.
Okay, now I was getting
I want all the cosmic nerding we can.
yeah, totally cosmically nerd all the way out.
Yeah.
Love
Okay,
it.
cool.
I love it.
All right, you all. Well, now I gotta go be Dr. Mustakim and give my students their grades and all that good stuff.
All right. Thanks again, Shawande.
Oh, you're so welcome. Bye. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.